Good Tuesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he's just lamenting today that he just had a boring old night last night because he didn't want to come to WWE Raw. Dale Hillistrade, everybody.
Boy, oh boy, sounds like I just missed the night of my life.
You knock it, man. But there's kids in there, there's parents, there's not a grumpy person in the place. Everybody, even though the food lines are ridiculous over there.
Hold
Desert
on,
Diamond Arena.
Were you there?
I was there.
So there was at least one grumpy person.
No, it's hard to be grumpy in that environment, man. Just people are happy. People are just smiling all the time. People cheering. There was only one match where I was like, all right, I'm kind of bored with this. Usually there's 3 or 4. There's only one.
Really?
It was a good show last night, Dale. Good show last night. And somebody made their Netflix debut last night, Dale.
Their Netflix debut.
Netflix debut. It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Somebody made their Netflix debut. I did. I'm not going to show you that picture because it's from behind it. It's not a pretty picture, everybody. But throw up the first one here from last night, the Netflix broadcast. Right here. Look at that. There's Ethan right there. Jey Uso's coming down the stands there, Dale. One of the wrestlers, just to help you out there. Ethan's right there doing it, greeting him as he comes down the stairs. Look at that. Netflix debut. I know.
So they're coming from the upper concourse all the way down.
He comes down from the concourse, and he has a big intro where you like do a dance thing and stuff. So he comes down and interacts with the crowd as he goes down. Oh yeah, no. So that's the picture. That's from Netflix. Ethan's mom sent that to him while we were there, and then my phone blew up. Man, people were like, "Was that you we just saw? Doing the yeet?" And I was like, "Yeah." Rumor has it we're on television.
What's the yeet?
Oh, I'll show you right now. Show us the yeet here. Jey Uso coming down the stairs by us last night. Hit Kobe a little early here. There's Ethan in the bottom right. That's Ethan's friend's hair, Seth. There's Jey Uso. It's hard to hear his music, but the crowd goes crazy when Jey Uso comes down with that theme song. The crowd goes nuts. I should have done I have another shot where just the whole arena is doing that. It's just an amazing thing. An amazing thing, Dale. You would have so much fun, but you're afraid to have fun. So you don't want to go.
Oh, no, I actually, I got more frustrated probably than you did trying to watch that damn Suns game last night. And the only station I could find it on Peacock, and they had the names of every player would follow them around on the screen, and I was like, what the heck is this?
I didn't see that. You were on an alternative feed or something?
Yes, I couldn't find the regular feed.
We turned it on when we left. We had it on the drive home, and I was listening to 98.7.
Yeah.
And then, was watching it from there. But it was a blowout, so I kind of was not interested in it.
Look at my Suns.
Yeah, Lakers won a second night back-to-back.
Oh, look at my Suns.
Okay, we're going to talk. Bruce Cooper comes in today, folks, as well. But it was a good time last night, first of all.
Yeah.
The food lines were long. That place they do all these upgrades there, Desert Diamond, and it's still an absolute crap hole. It's just, I don't get what they're doing over there. Food is terrible. I was upset tummy the whole freaking night.
Well, what'd you have?
Nachos. Oh, my God. I got a great picture of the nachos. I didn't post them, though, because I was angry. Oh, my stomach was all upset all last. I was just like, what in the world's happening? Yeah, they just don't have basic pizza, man. And it's $86 to feed 4 people there on top of it, Dale. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And that's without drinking.
Yeah, I know. It's just with 4 waters, 2 nachos, and 2 chicken fingers with tots.
How were the chicken fingers?
I didn't have one. I wouldn't eat that garbage. Just kidding. But yeah, no, not a upset person last night in that show. Kids there, parents.
Was it sold out?
I don't know.
I mean, did it look like it was?
Yeah, it was packed. Yeah, it was packed. It was a good time, Dale. You should come to one time. Dale's afraid to have a good time, folks. And you never know. Last night you could have made your Netflix debut.
I already made my Netflix.
One where you're not just standing on the sideline doing nothing.
Also on the Shania Twain special.
That's right. You're right. You got that picture of you, your daughter, and Shania Twain back in the day.
Yeah.
You sent me that, and I was like, "Who's that?" Like Shania, I'm like, "Oh my god, I forgot she looked like that at one time."
What? You look like that at one time.
I know. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why the picture of that people were sending me, me making my Netflix debut, will not see the light of day.
It's from behind.
Yeah, it's not good. From above. The
Ooh.
drone, I guess, got us. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, and everything. It was like, what in the world?
So who was the headliner? Who was the final?
They're setting up because John Cena's retiring this year in a couple weeks. So they're setting it up. They're doing the John Cena thing to who battles him in his last fight, which I'm so not interested in that because I'm not a John Cena fan.
Why?
John Cena's terrible. He's a terrible actor, terrible wrestler. I've never liked John Cena.
Well, obviously, a lot of people do, right?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay.
I kind of wish I didn't see him, legitimately. But it'll be fun. I'll tune in because he's going away. I hate how he beat Ric Flair's record. It drives me batty. But they were doing that. LA Knight, Gunther was last night, which I'm not a big Gunther fan, but
who's your favorite
Oso
wrestler?
was last night. Nowadays, it'd be hard pressed for me to say nowadays. I don't know if I have a favorite nowadays.
Your favorite all time?
All time, it's the Hulkster.
Really?
Ultimate Warrior, the Hulkster. Heck yeah, man. Junkyard Dog back in the day. I go old school. The Rock, new this era, The Rock is by far Stone Cold, but The Rock was the baddest guy out there.
Really?
Yeah, when he was wrestling in the 90s.
Okay.
Baddest guy out there. It's not even close.
So tougher than Hulk? Do they ever wrestle?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, famously. Yeah.
How about Andre the Giant?
Never a big fan. I was kind of young for him, but I was never a fan. I mean, he was. So the problem, the bigger you get, like Brock Lesnar is a force to see in the ring. Like he's amazing in the ring. But I had said this last night. That was the boring fight. That was the Oso Gunther match last night. Two big dudes in the ring. And it's like they'll do like this little spurt of like all this action. And then they got to lay on the ground and try to breathe for 5 minutes and recover. And then they get up in a bunch of action. And then they got to lay on the ground again and breathe for a little bit. That's what I don't like about the big guys. It's not because the little guys, are off the rope and they're jumping around and it's fun and exciting. The finale last night, which women wrestlers, I don't mind them. They're fun. They're fun to watch and stuff, but it's not my cup of tea where I'm like, I can't wait for the way they ended that show last night with all the women wrestlers coming in was fantastic. Fun to watch. Good ending.
Who's the hottest female wrestler?
I do not see hotness, Dale.
Who's the one that you see
I enjoy
in your
them
dreams?
for their talents, Dale. I don't know what you're talking about. Alexa Bliss is cutie. Liv Morgan came back last night, which all the guys. But Tiffany Strata is the big one that everybody loves because she's young. Most wrestlers, if you don't know, are like in their 40s.
Really?
Late 30s, yeah.
Because they have to work their way up?
Yeah, to make it. Unless they're like a celebrity, like Jake Paul's, whoever the Paul guy, the non-boxer one, brother. He was there last night. He's young, but that's because he did something, celebrity and got into it, type of a thing. But yeah, most wrestlers are older. There's only a couple youngins running around out there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a while to build up. You're doing house shows all those years. And
what's a
garbage.
house show? You go in somebody's house in the living room?
Pretty much. Like that TNA one I went to where it was like me and like seven other people, 7 other fans in there watching these guys wrestle.
Where was that at?
That one was the mullet one, remember?
Vaguely.
Yeah, it was fun. But you went to see like old retired guys still trying to hang on, make some money. They can't do anything else in their life. And they're all beat up and old. Good time, Dale. You should have come last night.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, Steve. I'm sorry the nachos weren't up to your liking, but
yeah, they were. Oof. Probably tried to poison me a little bit.
You fought through it, though.
I did. I made it home. After that, I don't know. But I made it home. But it was a good time, Dale. Missed out. Suns blew out the Lakers last night on top of it.
Suns won. I mean, again, no LeBron, but...
Well, LeBron played. LeBron was on the court.
Was he?
Yeah, that's the point.
I watched about a
because you can't watch Peacock. He went out. LeBron looks old.
Because I also looked at the box score. I didn't see it.
Oh no, he didn't do anything out there, but he was out there. Absolutely.
Okay. But imagine this Suns team.
I like how your kryptonite on watching local sports is Peacock.
Yes, I can't because I'm not paying to watch the Suns.
I do every year. I buy that stupid Suns Plus package on NBA.com.
I guess LeBron did play 4 points.
He did not. Yeah, like I said, he was out there. I wouldn't say he
10
played.
points. Okay, 3 of 10.
He looked terrible.
0 rebounds.
Yeah, he looked
well,
terrible.
it's a back-to-back, Steve.
He didn't play in the first game. That's the problem. DeAndre Ayton not hustling up and down the court.
I mean, to me, the highlight was when Luka Doncic made a free throw and Dylan Brooks stepped into the lane and gave him 5. And Luka looked at it and go, what? He pulled his hand back.
Dylan Brooks, man, is my favorite player on the planet. I've learned to love him.
Yeah, well,
not just because he's on the Suns. I enjoyed him. I when he was earlier in his career. If you don't know the story, he famously, when he was with Memphis, I think it was, called LeBron old before a playoff series, and then LeBron just dominated that playoff series and made him look like an idiot, and everything. And I don't like that stuff that he does, but he does that little small stuff that's funny. But it's just irritating enough where the other team's like, what in the world is happening right now? And it just puts them off their game. He's fun to watch, man.
Well, and it doesn't hurt that he keeps throwing up a point a minute, 33 minutes, 33 points.
I mean, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, groin injury for your boy, Devin.
Well,
good thing you weren't watching. You would have been celebrating. Devin's down. Woo, finally, this team can become itself.
Well, for some reason, Devin goes down, and Superman Colin Gillespie.
That is amazing, man. That last year we saw flashes of Gillespie, and Coach Bud just kept going. Nope. Go sit down on the bench, kid.
Nope. Get down.
Get on the end of the bench. What are you even here for? What are you even here for? And we saw glimpses where it was like that kid's special when he hits the court. Mm-hmm. Like last year, I equated him to that Bol phenomenon we had a couple years ago, where I was like, you got to play Bol. The energy comes. I'm not saying it was great by any stretch of imagination. With Bol, but he brought energy to the court, which the team didn't have energy a couple years ago. This is when Frank Vogel was the head coach.
Right.
And people mocked me at the beginning, and then everybody got on board with me on that, right? Colin Gillespie last year was that guy where it was like, how does that kid not see the court in games just to bring the energy for 5 minutes, and then you can pull him out? And you're seeing it this year, and the difference is between Bol and Colin Gillespie. Colin Gillespie has talent. He's good.
He is.
I'm not saying he's superstar level good, but he can play in this league for 10 years and have a solid career.
Because he doesn't, again, he's not going to score 28 points a game, but it's the energy he brings.
Yes.
It's the fighting through picks. It's the setting picks.
Well, then hitting the shots. Yeah. That was Bol's problem was you'd pass the ball to him and he'd be like, what do I do with this thing?
This ball,
but he brought energy.
Ball.
But he brought energy to a team. I always used to say, that's not good. That Bol brings, that we want Bol on the court. That's not good. It is good when Colin Gillespie hits the court. It's you almost can't wait for that first time out till they substitute to get him out there. To be honest with you, to see what he could do as he get out there. Yeah, LeBron James last night, 31 minutes last night for him, 10 points. Yeah,
made 3 shots.
He looks old. But it's not his team anymore either. But DeAndre Ayton, 12 points last night. DeAndre Ayton, Mark Williams, even after the game, the head coach of the Lakers, gave a lot of praise to Mark Williams. How he's just he's in the middle all the time. No matter you blink and he's in the middle. You turn around, he's in the middle. He leaves the middle. You turn around, he's back in the middle again.
he runs the court really well, puts pressure on the other team.
DeAndre Ayton just couldn't keep up with him. Ayton was trying to run, and it looked like he had cement shoes on at times.
At first when this whole no back-to-backs for him, and we're gonna rest him, we're gonna be smart. And I was like, another one of these.
Well, he's injury prone, so you
right.
have to protect
well, that's what I'm
him
saying. Another one of these.
Yeah.
And, do whatever you're doing, Suns. Let him play when he's ready to go because He is an absolute difference maker.
I mean,
Fun to watch.
I'm fine not having him play back-to-backs until, February, March, depending on what your standing in the standings are and what you're playing for.
Right.
Yeah, don't do the backs. You don't have that many back-to-backs. It just so happens the Suns have had a couple tough ones so far this year.
And now they're off till Friday night.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
plenty
get
of rest.
3 days. Yeah.
This team is just fun to watch. Everybody's excited. Oh, my God, it's the Lakers. They destroyed the Lakers. Lakers were coming off a second night back-to-back. They look tired, which is what happens. It's amazing. Go back to the 90s, folks, and watch the team on the second night of a back-to-back. And they look like they play hard and everything.
Yeah.
These days, you look at the Suns against Denver. Now, some of that's Denver, of course, as well, who you're playing. But it's like they just wake up and they're like, we're not even going to try tonight. What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whenever the ball's rolled out there, if you're suited up and you're playing,
it's just like something triggers in these guys' heads where like, oh, this is just one we're just not going to try for tonight. It's infuriating to watch with the money you pay to go get a ticket. Yikes. Luka, though, that's Luka's team, and Luka's a stud. He's in shape, man. If he would have been that in shape in Dallas, they never would have traded him.
Yeah, they would never have traded him.
It's nauseating. That's. I mean, I've always given Luka, the nod on. And I actually thought back in the day, the reason why I was a little weary of Luka was because the Suns had his head coach in Europe as their head coach,
right?
And he was like, "Oh, we'll go DeAndre Ayton in this," and I was like, "Why is the head coach that coached the kid not want him? Or maybe he did, but why was he not pushing more for him and fighting for him and stuff to that?" So that's kind of gave me the sign there. But when Luka wants to play, he can play. It's just he was just lazy and non-competitive, and you saw that in the playoffs a couple years ago with the Mavericks.
Well, he'd always come in and he'd be hurt the first half of the year.
Yeah, because he was fat.
Yeah, and out of shape.
His ankle.
And now all of a sudden it's like he goes to L.A. and whether it is the beach or whether it is the beautiful people out there.
Driving around with his new Bugatti with his roof down when he leaves the stadium now.
He wants to look good.
That's a beautiful car, man. That's all I'm going to say. Must be nice for him. Yeah, it is amazing the difference. And Luka, if he continues this trend, is going to go down as one of the all-time greats.
Well, the thing is, he's one of those anomalies in my mind because whether you're talking football, whether you're talking basketball, and I guess even into baseball, when you're contemplating giving a guy $300 million, and he already doesn't work out.
yeah, that's not going to help.
I mean, he works out, but he's not in peak physical condition.
Yeah.
In my mind, how is me giving you $300 million going to spur you on?
Well, you got that famous video of the Mavericks guy taking the beer out of his hand in the hallway.
Yes.
He's drinking it with the cameras on him. And he just walks over and grabs it and like puts it behind his back. It's like those are the old days of back when you'd see the guy smoking as he's walking out.
Yeah.
He puts it out as he goes on the court. Luka goes back a lot. Vlade Divac days. Remember Vlade? He used to smoke as he was walking out on the court.
Vlade just looked like a guy who smelled.
Well, because I know this for a fact. That he would literally be smoking while they'd be in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then the team would like go out to the warmer. You know how they run out in a line?
Yeah.
And then they get the balls and they start doing and he would be all Could you imagine playing basketball with a guy that smells like he just got done smoking a six-pack? And then he'd go and run up and down the court like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Now he's over there ruining the Kings right now is what he's doing. So good game last night from that side. Of course, Bruce Cooper joins us today. But, man, there's something about Thanksgiving time coming up here. Dale, I'm in the process right now. We started working on it yesterday. We're doing our college football, where we stand on college football, because we, of course, have championship games this week and then bowl games coming our way here. But there's something about Thanksgiving weekend where I suck at picks. Throw up the college football show picks from last week. My Friday picks got awful. And then my Saturday ones got a little better.
I did not even see that Vanderbilt, Tennessee score.
Vanderbilt, I'm going to say blew them out. I think it was like an 18-point win or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, no, they killed them, yeah. That was a weird game. That was at a weird time. I actually had to go back. Like later on that day, I was like,
Yeah.
they
It
playing
got
right now?
swallowed up and
But-
something.
Well, that's the thing. It had to have gotten swallowed up by a bigger game because I don't even I didn't even see it like on my Twitter feed or
No.
nothing. And I have a bunch of Tennessee fans I follow and things like that. And it was just like it just kind of disappeared. Ohio State killed Michigan. Not a shocker there, I don't think. They beat that 4-game snide there by Ryan Day. Ole Miss ended up winning that. And then of course all the problems afterwards and everything, and then some other game down here in Tempe happened.
Oh boy!
But man, what a shakeup here, man! Texas A&M, Texas, Arch Manning, baby. I told you guys he was the number 1 pick this year if he comes out. Kid's a genius.
Look at you.
So it took until the rivalry weekend of this 2025 season for the Texas A&M to falter and fall on their face. Usually it happens way before now. And it took till that game for them to do that. Shakes up. Georgia gets in the SEC championship game, which tells you Georgia now is going to be a college football playoff team no matter what, which I think they were going to be anyway.
Right.
But what does that do for the Texas A&M in that college football poll ranking coming up here with this game this weekend? And
Well,
could you imagine if they lose again?
To me, the
Not them,
biggest
but
one's going to be
SEC.
what's the committee going to do with Texas?
That's the problem. Well,
you know,
what's going to happen. Texas is going to get into the they're going to squeak them into the playoffs here. That's the whole. Okay, conspiracy theory, Steve. SEC went Texas A&M. You're losing this game. We can get it. We can get an extra team in.
Wow.
We can get an extra team in. We can get Texas in now.
Wow.
So this weekend you got Ohio State, Indiana, of course, battling it out. That'll be a fantastic Big Ten game. Can Indiana hang with Ohio State is the question. If this game is close, they're both going to be top 4 seeds because they're 1 and 2.
Right.
The loser of this game will just fall down to 4, Dale. All right, and as far as I think they'll fall, unless Ohio State blows out Indiana. Indiana might fall out of the bye situation. Other than that, they're fine there. Then you got Georgia, Alabama in the SEC game. Is that exciting for anybody?
It's kind of old news.
Well, they're not the best teams in the SEC. I mean, Texas A&M not being in this game is just a travesty, right? The biggest travesty of all is this the Mountain West or whatever it is. UNLV, Boise State, New Mexico loses to a tiebreaker. It was a 4-team tie there. New Mexico loses out in this game, and Boise State squeaks in. I hate these big conferences, and you run down these tiebreakers. Big 12 this year, tiebreakers didn't come into it because the ASU lost, so it didn't matter. But BYU, Texas Tech, that'll be fun on Saturday morning. 10 a.m. kickoff there on Saturday morning, no less. So it's going to be sitting there as well. Unless you think Miami, Ohio, Western Michigan's a rival to that. They're kicking off in its own window as well. But that's the thing. Even the ACC, because your team, SMU, faltered there at Cal with their vaunted new coaching staff that they installed that week. It's Virginia Duke. Is anybody excited about that?
No.
I'm excited Ohio State, Indiana, just because I want to see if Indiana's for real. And I don't expect Indiana to win this game, by the way.
Right.
But can they keep it close? Can they keep it close is the bigger question. And stay competitive in this game. And they should have home field advantage because the game's in Indianapolis. Are Ohio State people going to travel to this game knowing they're going to have to buy college football playoff tickets coming up?
Well, that's
this
the thing,
could be a home game for Indianapolis.
Because you think of Ohio State, think about them. They went on the run last year.
Mm-hmm.
However much money you put out, unless you're the top 1% of their fans in
Yes.
earnings.
Yeah. Well, Well, you're spending it in different ways than the tickets.
Yeah.
Well, you get gifted the tickets by the university,
Right.
But you're spending it in other ways.
Yeah. But if you're not, if you're just run-of-the-mill family, it's like, oh, well, last year was our, we splurged last year.
Yeah.
It'll be fascinating to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is why that game's interests me. But Georgia, Alabama, that's just not interesting. And I'm a Georgia fan. I like Georgia. I like Kirby Smart. I like the Georgia program as a whole. And that's just not exciting because that's not the best of the SEC teams. Those aren't the two best SEC teams going into this year.
Right.
And it just, it's kind of like, kind of a letdown there as well. I would like to see Georgia win that, though. Get a bye there for them as well. But BYU, Texas Tech, that's not even exciting to me. We saw this already. And now the rumors are that BYU's head coach is being courted by Penn State.
Yep.
Now, that's actually the hottest rumor out. It's been the hottest rumor for a while. But this doesn't make sense to me because I alluded to this yesterday. Does Penn State have their guy? And he's like, well, I'm going to finish out this year before you hire me.
Right.
That would leak out. He's the only name that's kind of leaked out as they're really interested in, and there's mutual interest between the two. But that's not a high-end hire. Look at all the coaches that are being hired. It's all young guys, mid-level programs for the most part. Obviously, LSU's Lane Kiffin. But it's Ole Miss is that. We went through them yesterday. It's all young guys in like Tulane, UCLA's James Madison is going to UCLA. This is a run right now on not retread coaches. This is a run on lower tier coaches stepping up a level, and some stepping up 3-4 levels to get to some of these schools and everything. That's the hiring process right now. So it even doesn't make sense. Penn State, is that a big splash for Penn State if they got the BYU guy?
No, because he's kind of just run. He recruits well at BYU. He's always has tough teams.
He competes in an environment that you lose, like you said, 3/4 of your recruiting base just based off of your school and the restrictions of your school.
Right.
And if you're able, I firmly believe if you're able to compete in that, that's why I said Jim Mora to I'm sorry, not Jim Mora, the Michigan State, Pat Fitzgerald to Michigan State. I'm a big fan of if you can recruit at schools like BYU, schools like Northwestern, you can have success anywhere if you're still committed. Now that's the question: can you be committed when you go there? Right, is the bigger question you deal with. But I don't know, it's fascinating.
I think it's going to be fascinating to see what the committee does because they come out with the rankings today.
Tonight,
correct?
Yep, tonight.
How are they going to position these guys from basically Oklahoma on down? You have Oklahoma, you have Notre Dame, you have Alabama, all 10-2. Got BYU 11-1, Miami 10-2, Vanderbilt, and then Texas.
Here's what they're going to do tonight. They're going to position everybody where if they're playing this weekend, they're going to give them a little bit of a bump. So if they lose, they can stay in it, right? And because they're playing the extra game.
Right.
And then they're going to position everybody else in their spot because they don't play again. So like Texas A&M is going to be positioned in a spot where they're going to be at next week. There can be upsets, though. BYU beats Texas Tech. There's a chance. Texas Tech is in the college football playoff regardless, unless they get blown out by BYU. If BYU wins this game, which nobody thinks is going to happen, you could have two Big 12 teams in. That's going to knock somebody down. Now, Texas Tech might get a bye if they win this, but BYU obviously wouldn't, right, going into it. But that's the thing. They're going to position teams tonight, if you know what I mean, Big Ten and SEC. They're going to position them tonight. So if they lose, like I said, Indiana, Ohio State, the loser of that game, they're gonna be positioned 1 and 2. So the loser of that game, if it's close, will only drop to 4 and have 2 teams at a bye. But what do you do with the SEC? Texas A&M was in that top 4 spot.
Right.
They're not playing this weekend. Georgia's in that top. Georgia wins their top 4 team, period, end of story.
Yes.
Alabama wins that, though?
You move them all the way up with 2 losses?
Yeah, and do you have Texas A&M stays in there? Like, that's what's fast. And tonight will tip us off on what the committee wants to happen, is my point here. That's what's going to happen tonight. We're going to be tipped off on what they're going to do.
And you just know tomorrow we'll spend the first half hour on everybody who got screwed.
Well, Ole Miss is getting screwed tonight. They got screwed last week. They moved down a spot with just the rumors of Lane Kiffin moving.
Right.
Now the whole offensive staff has changed. Lane Kiffin called the plays at Ole Miss. They're screwed. They're falling. There were 7 last week. I'm not going to be shocked if they're not at 10 tonight when it comes down to it. Because
even though
they're going to punish
won.
them. Because they're going to punish them. They won last time. They're going to punish them for losing their
the way
head coach. And
the way
everything.
the AP has it right now, the top 12 team.
They'll still make the playoff.
You got Ohio State, Indiana, so one of them's going to drop at least a spot or
Yeah,
two.
they're gonna go. The loser, if it's a close game, will go to 4. Yeah.
Georgia, Oregon are 3 and 4. So those 4, according to AP, would have a bye.
And Oregon's not playing, so they're set. They're set. If Oregon's a 4 tonight, they'll be a 4 after this weekend.
But do you really
unless
think they're
something
going to
happens.
give 3 Big Ten teams a bye?
Well, but that's the argument.
Yeah.
But Texas Tech wins this weekend, they could bump into that top 4 because
yeah.
they're the 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got Texas Tech 5, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama round out the top 10.
Yeah.
And then BYU, Miami, Vanderbilt, Texas, and Utah.
BYU has to my eyes, because it's the Big 12, BYU has to win this weekend
yes.
to get into the 12. And if they win this weekend, you'll have 2 Big 12 teams in the college football championship.
And the thing is, Vanderbilt's not playing this weekend.
Nope.
Texas isn't playing this
Well,
weekend.
they got to remember, one of the spots is for the is for the group of 5 or whatever it is. So you only have 11 spots there.
And right now, that's James Madison and North Texas.
Yeah. But I think the bye is the most important thing you're looking at right now. Like, does Texas A&M keep a bye with losing last week and not playing this weekend?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, Texas Tech will step in and step into that spot.
I think if Texas Tech wins, that they'll be
a 4
seed.
They'll be a 4 seed.
Wow.
I know. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be set up tonight on what we're looking at here. Let's throw up the NFL show picks real quick as well as we then we'll get Bruce in here as well here after our break. And woo, man, something about Thanksgiving weekend. Just terrible. At least I rebounded on Sunday. On Friday and Sunday. Holy
Are you
hell,
sure
Steve.
you took the Bears?
Absolutely, I took the
Are
Bears.
you sure you took the Bears?
Absolutely, I took the Bears. I can pull it up if you want. We can have my voice saying it even.
Boy, look at that star. Shining.
It's all surrounded by X's there. Yeah, Cowboys on a roll.
Shining star.
I just thought I employed the Lou of thinking. 3 games in 12 days. Emotional win the week before. Kansas City's fighting for their lives. Teams that are championship caliber do not die easy. I thought that's what the Cowboys were facing.
But you can throw that all out the window when you're talking about my boys.
And now they're your boys again.
Yeah, until they lose.
Well, I mean, obviously the players all think they're going to win because CeeDee Lamb's out drinking before the Raiders game and staying out all night.
That's 2 weeks ago. That's a bygone.
Bygones
are
that's
bygones.
priorities, I guess, right? The Bills back. The Steelers look terrible. You see all the fans chanting "Fire Tomlin" finally?
Yeah.
Fans are finally. This has to be his last year. They should have gotten rid of him 2-3 years ago. They're just there.
Well, they're just there, but they're also. What have they done to help Tomlin as far as player acquisition?
Well, no, that's kind of my argument here. Is it's just the whole organization is just content.
Yeah.
And that's not how you should run a football team. Content.
Was anybody chanting fire Jonathan Gannon?
No, they should be, though. Oh, man, did you see his press conference yesterday? We'll talk about that here coming up.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Oh, I know you enjoy the excitement of that and everything. So here it comes, right? Let's take a break here. Get Bruce Cooper in here, of course. Suns, Territorial Cup. Dale's going to have to sing that fight song again here coming up.
Did I tell you how hungry I am? How hungry I am.
I know how broke Bruce is going to be. That's what I know.
I looked at that menu at Steak 44. Woo, Nelly. Bruce is going to have to get a greeter job at Walmart to pay for that thing.
Robert says the run on coaches is following the ASU model. A lot of young guys getting jobs. Well, difference is Dillingham didn't have head coaching experience.
Right.
So they even stepped it farther down. But I do find it interesting. Big name schools going for those young guys at lower tiers. And I have a theory about that, Dale.
Well, even the NFL is doing that now.
Yeah, it's because you're spending more on players.
Liam Cohen.
Yeah, you're spending more on players, so you're cutting it back on the coaching staff.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Come on back, folks. The main event. Bruce Cooper up next. And we're back here. Oh, these two youngins here.
Yum, in my top.
Bruce Cooper joins us here on Tuesdays. Of course, the legend, the local legend, Bruce Cooper. He loves when I call him that there. 34 years there at Channel 12, if you don't know who this gentleman is, and seen a lot around the Valley. Of course, high school, college, pros as well. Seen it all, basketball, etc. Out there, Bruce, first of all, how you doing, man? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great, but my appetite won't be anything like Dale's.
I'll have some bread, please.
Dale's like, Dale's all, Steve, you can come. I'm like, I'm not missing this. I got to see this happen. And then Dale's like, you got to pay for yourself. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to have water and bread. There is what I'm going to have.
Hey, look, just so you guys know out there, my worst fears were realized on Black Friday. Jeff Sims, the turnover machine that he is. Look, I said it here. He had to be able to pass the ball effectively for ASU to win, and he didn't.
Okay, I got a thing about that. Arizona State's skill positions, specifically receivers, lacking. They gave him no help in this game.
Well, look, when you have a 7-3 lead in the third quarter, you're backed up on your own goal line, and you can't even execute a handoff. You fumble, they recover.
Yeah.
2 plays later, touchdown. They're up, have the lead for the first time.
Yep.
And then you're down 16-7. And you're driving. You're on the 13-yard line of the Wildcats.
Fumble without being touched.
Right. A field goal would have cut it to one score. Or a touchdown is
I'm not saying
score.
Jeff Sims isn't to blame, but he made some throws that his receivers failed him on. The interception deep. Hamilton didn't even try for that, and the defender makes this acrobatic over-the-top catch, and Hamilton's still running.
Look, sometimes you just have to shake the hand of your opponent. Because
they wanted him more.
Stooks went over the top. I mean, Hamilton is ready to catch the ball in his hands like this. Dude jumped over the top of him. I mean, that's one of those deals where I'm not really going to fault the receiver. He's tracking the ball. And
because you want to blame Jeff Sims. That's why.
No. Look. Jeff Sims is who he is, and look, I give him.
He's a turnover machine. He turned. That was why he's not in Nebraska. He turned the ball over all the time.
Well, let's give him credit for this. When Sam Levitt went down, Arizona State could have easily have lost the rest of their game.
Absolutely.
He was able to do enough. As a matter of fact, had a historic game against Iowa State.
With 2 turnovers, by the way.
Yeah, well, he is a turnover machine, as you said. But look, he engineered 3 wins that put Arizona State in position to, if the dominoes fell right, would actually return to the Big 12 game.
They were in it on the last weekend, and for ASU to be in that position 2 years in a row, successful season, even though there's disappointment.
Well, again, and we all know if Sam Levitt were still healthy, the outcome and circumstances would be different. They still may not have made it to the Big 12 title game, given what we saw from Texas Tech and BYU over the weekend with their wins.
They wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because they won it, took it out of it.
But they would have successsuurely retained the Territorial Cup.
Yeah. Where you can think about it, what they missed an opportunity was if they won, and then, or if they lost and then BYU lost on, Saturday night. Then you could be like, oh, we lost that opportunity. But because both Texas Tech and BYU won, you just weren't making it back with those 2 guys there.
You guys are really distracting me. I was looking at the menu. Steak 44. I mean, it's just a little 16-ounce New York strip. That's $80.
You know the worst thing about Dale winning a bet is?
Dale, check the. I'm looking at the. Appetizers. Let me check the jumbo shrimp.
The jumbo shrimp. That's Rhode Island. Let's see here. They have scallops, caviar, beef tartare.
I like they got them huge jumbo.
Yes. That's a $27.
Okay. All right. Now look to the seafood menu.
Yeah.
I'm a seafood guy.
Okay. They got the
salmon with scallop.
Yeah,
with
they got salmon. They got Maryland-style lump crab cakes.
You don't eat red meat?
I do, but I've just never been a steak guy.
Oh, really?
Steak or rib guy. I'm just not that guy.
Are you eating too?
I'll be honest with you. Hamburger's about the only red meat I
Really?
do eat.
Really? All right.
No, it's colossal shrimp cocktail, $13 each. So I always like to get 6.
You know what I was gonna say, you know what cracks me up is that Dale goes to these places all the time. He doesn't even look at the menu, but because you're buying, he's checking out the menu.
I just make myself
checking out the
hungry.
pricing. Yes. So it'll be fun. Do I have to dress up for this place?
No. Hey, but I'll say this too.
I'll be a suit and tie. I'm gonna be a top hat.
Noah Fifita has certainly had a rebound year, and though he engineered Arizona to a win over Arizona State, I didn't think it was one of his better games.
Mm-hmm.
It was the defense really that put them in position for all the
Well,
scores.
you got to give credit to ASU's defense. They played out of their minds
they did.
until the end when they got tired.
They're on the field 2/3 of the time.
Yeah, ridiculous.
But how about this? Now, Danny Gonzalez used to be here, right?
Yeah.
Because that's always been a bug. Two things that U of A always had, in my mind, always had a bugaboo: defense, couldn't stop anybody, and offensive line. Seemed like they always have a hard time getting a stout offensive line down there. And I think that defense was flying around like the hair on fire.
Save the Stooks interception that he went up and got. Everything else was just gift wrap to from a turnover standpoint.
Right.
And so, look, I'm not trying to take anything away from Danny Gonzalez because I liked him when he was here at Arizona State. I mean, him and his wife are just really, really quality people. Really, really enjoy him. Not trying to take anything away from him, but I expected Arizona to 2 years ago when they had Noah Fifita and Tetro and McMillan, they came into Arizona State, and I think they whomped them something like 59-23. It was I expected to see that kind of Noah Friday night. I didn't see that Noah Friday night. Arizona State really controlled.
That's what makes me mad about Brennan. I said this yesterday. Like I don't think Brett Brennan's a good head coach. I just don't. I think he's got a lot of flaws. I think he's good he wasn't even good at San Jose State, by the way, but I think he's good for that level and everything. But that's one of the reasons why I don't like him is because like you said, wasted year last year with Fifita. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the country, at least at the college level, with what he can do with his talent, and you wasted it last year. And I still don't think he's at his full potential this year. And you're wasting a kid that should be one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Colorado, the state of college football out there, and they're just wasting him. And it's infuriating to me that they're doing that.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what his decision will be as it relates to the transfer portal. I'm also anxious to see what.
Why would you leave now?
Why
would you leave now if you're Fifita?
Well, okay, then why would you leave now if you're Sam Levitt?
Because you might not be a pro player and you're going to go get the big paycheck.
Don't you think that Noah would command some money?
I think Noah. Yeah, but I think Noah Fifita actually, wherever he plays next year, he's got a chance to be a 3rd, 4th round draft pick at minimum.
Well, his size is going to be a big handicap for him.
But his coach is his biggest handicap. He needs to move just because of the coaching. They don't know what to do with him.
Yeah. So again, I mean,
he throws a pretty ball though.
I think the portal opens up on January 2nd, if I'm not mistaken.
They have a reported 7,000 kids going into the portal here on January 2nd.
How do they know?
Because
that already?
you can actually say you're going in the portal, but it's not open yet. Yeah, like a precursor.
7,000?
Yeah, not even enough spots for him.
No, there'd be a lot, and I think a lot of kids just do that just to see. Hey, I'm content at ASU, but I'm going to throw my name in there in case somebody does blow my socks.
But here's the deal, though. If I'm a head coach and you throw your name in the portal, I'm searching the portal to replace you.
No doubt.
Some coaches have that attitude, but Kenny Dillingham does not have that attitude.
But that's the thing.
But some coaches
a lot of kids are getting bad advice too. You're a backup at whatever UCLA, and you think you can be a starter somewhere else. Well, maybe somebody doesn't offer you a scholarship. Now, where are you? Does UCLA want you back, or are you just out in no man's land? That's it. 7,000 kids. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what they do is, because the agents and everything, so basically everybody's talking now and everything, on who's going and who. Like ASU knows who they're losing to the transfer portal now. So like when they were recruiting over the weekend, Kenny Dillingham and the boys were out recruiting, they know who they're replacing, not just graduates, but who's already transferring because agents have said so, and they know they're out there talking.
Yeah, I was keeping my eye outside of the quarterback position at Arizona State on the tight end position. They have some really talented players that they have recruited, but really didn't play because they went with the and Mateer.
I love him.
Yeah, a solid player, but he's already thrown his name into the NFL draft.
He wasn't coming back.
Right,
he was done
right.
this year.
And I think Harpole. And I know Anderson, who transferred in. I think he's a senior too, right?
Yeah.
So you can go to.
They're losing. I know they're losing 2 of them that played a lot this year.
Yeah, and so you can go to some of your young kids like Fortier
But my problem is though, watching this Arizona game against Arizona State was simple in my eyes. Arizona has the skilled players that can scheme open. They were open all day long, running out there. The ASU was in that man defense or zone defense at times, and players were open, skill play. You could tell the skill difference between ASU and Arizona. And it's like Arizona State just recruited. Now they thought Hamilton would work out, they thought Moss would work out, and they thought all that, and it didn't happen. They did a bad job of recruiting skill positions in Arizona State.
I think that Arizona State did a bad job of putting some of those guys on the field.
Okay, well then issue number 2 is my issue is Marcus Arroyo as a deal. Arizona, every time the ball was snapped, 2-3 guys were open. Every time the ball was snapped for Arizona State, nobody was open. There's an offensive coordinator play calling problem here at Arizona State.
Well, it's the same. It's the same coordinator that got you to the.
They couldn't score in the red zone this year either.
13.
They couldn't score in the red zone this year constantly.
Well,
it's been a constant thing this year.
I think. That big problem was a guy named Cam Scatterbo. I mean, Scatterbo was going to, and they thought they had that guy in Udo. They clearly don't. I think they need to go to more of their creativity.
That's my argument.
Yeah.
It was a predictable offense.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, while I agree a little bit, Steve, with you, I think at the end of the day, when you have a guy like Scatterbo or a person like him, he can make you right a lot of times.
Sure.
When that play's not good against this defense, but guess what? That player made it a good play.
But that's my argument. Yeah. It's easy to look good with Sam Levitt, Cam Scatterbo, right, and Jordan Tyson. Without those guys, they look barren. They looked barren.
I think
that's my argument.
If you look at the University of Arizona, they're playing their young kids at wide receiver, like Gio Richardson from Basha, sticking him in there and letting him play.
Yeah, and he's open.
Cooper Perry.
Yeah,
I don't know if he got hurt towards the tail end of the season, or if someone just like Hudson just came on and just put him on the bench.
Yeah.
But they had a whole new crop. They relied so heavily on people like Tetairoa McMillan that are gone, and they're putting the guys in. I think Arizona State has some underclassmen who can catch the ball and do some things, but because they are, I guess, hell-bent on playing some of these guys veterans they got from the transfer portal, I think that's the problem.
Yeah, and it was just so stark. And like I said, it's when you lose your starters where, I always do the comparison to the Niners. Niners lost all these star players, and the guys are just stepping up left and right. Arizona State lost their star players, and they look barren out there. And it was a stark. I don't know how it looked on television, but in the stadium, it was holy heck. Arizona has better skill players than we do. It's not even close.
That may be true, but I'll tell you this. And I'm not at Arizona State's practice. I don't know, but the people that are telling me this, I trust. They have a freshman from Texas. His name is Harry Hassman.
Yeah.
He said the guy's his hands are like glue.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's flat. I've seen videos of him catching.
If that's the case, I've been looking for him all year. Yeah. Why aren't you playing?
Well, they played the veteran. You're not wrong on that.
Okay.
Yeah. They stuck with Hamilton. They stuck with Moss when he was healthy to get in there. Where were those young guys? Eusebio, flashed a few times, but where were all these guys? And it goes to the point here. Jeff Sims struggling like he was in that game. Why not throw Cam Dreyer out there and just for a series, to change it up a little bit and get the young guy out there. It's like they went, we got to stick to these guys. No matter how bad it's going, instead of changing it up in game and stuff like that.
That would be one criticism I have of Arizona State University is the football team is that they just have, I guess, this game plan that they have for these young freshmen, and it's like, okay, we're just going to bring you along, let you learn, develop you in practice, and then we'll wait till your sophomore year. No, man. These kids are talented enough to play now. Play them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, not just that. When injuries happen.
But my thing is, do the young players know that was the plan? Because it's one thing, last December when you're recruiting them, to say, hey, here's what we'd like to do.
They had to have done, right? With all the seniors
versus,
on this team.
Okay, last December saying, no, you have a chance to play a lot next year, and then they're going to be a little upset that they didn't get a chance to get on the field.
Well, we'll find out with the transfer portal, because if you see a lot of these freshmen and sophomores jumping ship here with an opportunity to play next year,
sure,
you're going to think that way, right?
Yeah. There is a tight end. His name is IA. I guess it's Ia.
Yeah, and he's a stud.
Ia and Hassman. Yeah. They just ate up spring ball. They were eating up practices and stuff like. And I don't know if Hassman ever saw the field. Ia played, I know, at least one game because I think
it wasn't much, but he was in there.
And so and we talked about at least. Down in Tucson, I mean, they're kicking those kids out there. Maybe because they have to. Maybe they don't have the veterans in front of them.
Yeah. That's the thing. They weren't senior laden like ASU was.
Yeah.
And that just shows me bad coaching. But it's just just the red zone problems. I understand your depth of talent, but like I said, what worries me the most is Sam Levitt, Cam Scatteroo, Jordan Tyson. I think you and I might be able to have some success with those guys on the football field.
Hey, look.
The problem is when you lose them, and then it looks like you don't know what you're doing. That's alarming to me.
Yeah. Look,
if I look back at the season.
Yeah, look. It was clear to me that Arizona wasn't going to be able to handle Jordan Tyson without some type of bracket or double team. And my goodness, this kid just can't stay healthy. I mean, I think it's going to hurt his draft stock a little bit. I think he was like a top 10, top 5 player. Yeah. I think he's now going to drop to the middle to late first round now.
But was that hamstring completely healed?
Yeah, but before that, it was the collarbone.
Yeah, last year
and stuff. So I think he needs to.
I saw his face in his helmet when that hamstring rip went again. Like he went down, it was happened right in front of us, and instant grimace, and everybody was like, "Oh no, he's all right." And I was like, "He ain't all right. That thing hurts worse than the first time he tore it. You could tell in his face." And
look, those hamstrings, they're so temperamental, and I feel bad for him. I mean, it's not what you call a career-ending or serious injury, but it's one that really is going to sideline you. You really can't do a whole lot.
I just don't get how it happens.
It's like the Suns guy, Jaylen Brown.
Oh, Jalen Green.
On color,
but when he's healthy, whenever that is, say second week of December, say it's going to be another 2 weeks. So we're not going to start because you can't. Yeah. You heard it. And you practice, and you think you're going full speed, and you think you're bursting, and you think you're cutting, but you can't simulate game speed until there's 60,000.
And he was just running on his own when he kind of like skirted up a little bit. Then he caught the ball and then was tackled, and it was worse. But he was just running. It wasn't an acrobatic play. It wasn't anything else. He was just running his regular route.
If he's healthy, he clearly would have made a difference for Jeff Sims.
Oh yeah,
because he would have had that separation between defensive backs to where not even a bad throw.
But I mean, Jeff Sims at the same time when he just did not have time to throw. Gonzalez did such an amazing job on it. They were stacking the box, and that's what was driving me nuts watching this game. Like in the second quarter,
they were going to force him to. That's why I said going in. They're going to force him to beat him through.
I'm literally sitting there going. Run up the middle, stuffed again. Here it comes. You could see ASU was going to run it. You could see Arizona was like, I dare you to throw it over the top of us here. And they didn't even look at it. It was just, I honestly, this is the first time where I said Arizona State's coaching staff got out-coached in this game.
You can say that.
And it was just, going into that with Brett Brennan, I never thought I'd say that a day in my life.
You're not a Brett Brenner,
I can't
Brett
stand
Brenner
the guy.
fan.
He's terrible. The only good thing about Arizona, as we wrap up this segment, the only good thing about Arizona and their season this year, with their schedule being favorable to them, it's not a knock on them, Arizona fans. Settle down. I know they're mad at me for saying that. But their schedule was favorable to them, and they took advantage of it, and they were a good enough team to beat the bad teams and get confidence at the end of this season. The only good thing is if Brett Brennan stays, they're going to give him a nice contract extension, extend him out a little bit, and he's going to be there even longer, and it's going to be a beautiful thing watching.
As long as he
them fail
takes
with
the
them.
layoff, keeps that off, let's go Wildcats.
He's just
And
not.
look,
He's
and
not
look,
a
you
good
can
coach.
you can only play the people on your schedule, and Arizona did a
Absolutely, and it
good
gets
job
harder
of
next
that.
year, so,
yeah,
yeah.
it does, and so we'll see what they're made of. And again, I'm anxious to see what Noah Fafita does. If he comes back, I think Arizona can be.
If you were Fafita, would you leave? To be honest with you, I would leave just because of the coaching staff.
well, here's the deal.
They're not bringing him to his proper level, and there's going to be a big time school with a really good quarterbacks coach that will want him.
Well, I think it's going to come
Because of
down
money.
to what are his options. Is it does an LSU call come calling?
Not with Lane Kiffin. That's not his style.
Yeah,
of
but I'm just saying,
quarterbacking, but yeah.
does a big school or
I mean, look at Florida State. I mean, imagine what Mike Norvell could do. I'll even go a step farther. What about Clemson? What would Fafita do with Clemson? With that style offense. You saw what Trevor Lawrence did there. And I would argue Fafita, might be better in that type of an offense than Trevor Lawrence was back in the day
ooh.
and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Go to break. Go to break. Thought you were talking nonsense. My boy Trevor.
Come on back, folks. Bruce Cooper, main event. Second hour coming up next. I told you I'd argue it. Dale's already over at Steak 44, Coop. He's like,
Couldn't
I'm out of
wait.
here. I'll
Gotta
meet
check-
you guys over there.
Gotta scan that menu.
Yeah, it's like, man, you guys haven't even scheduled it yet, and he's already over there. What bowl game does Arizona State get coming up? To me, it's the Sun Bowl. Now things can change, but they're going to the Sun Bowl.
I'd like to see him in the LA Bowl, a lot closer.
Here's the problem: December 13th.
Oh yeah. Right.
Lack of practice window. That's the
Yeah,
worst bowl.
Yeah,
game you
yeah,
could go to.
yeah. I take that back. I'll take the Sun Bowl.
Yeah, Sun Bowl, obviously December 31st. They still have a chance at the holiday, but losing that game probably means they won't go there. But I favor Sun Bowl, but it's going to depend on this BYU Texas Tech game this weekend.
Oh, Tech will win.
Yeah, Tech should win, but there's a chance with BYU. I agree with you on that because if two teams get in, obviously that'll slide everything up.
Yeah,
but I can't
B-
wait for these
B-
Pac-12
B-
bowl affiliations to go away.
BYU will be in the Alamo.
I think that would mean they'd go Alamo. Yes.
Yeah,
If I had to think
and
right.
I guess maybe Utah to the Holiday.
No, I actually saw Washington going Big Ten in the holiday instead because they have that at-large deal. Let me pull it up here. Let me pull up the ESPN one that I had yesterday. CBS had some different ones and stuff like that. Let's look it up here real quick. Here is Dale's back from looking at that menu again. There,
God,
just
the LA
can't
Bowl
stop.
is the 13th of December. That is
No
criminal.
practice window
Jeez.
whatsoever. I know, it's ridiculous. You're gonna get a week of practice.
Yeah, it makes,
And
it makes zero
if
sense.
people don't know, this is where you practice your freshmen and your
Yeah,
sophomores and
yeah.
get them involved and do all that. It's like a glorified spring practice, right? Is what you're looking at there as well. So, like ESPN here, one of the guys says Arizona State plays UNLV in that game. But the overwhelming thing, and I actually heard that the winner of that if ASU won that game, they would have gone to the Holiday Bowl. Because they lost it, it's probably the Sun Bowl coming up against Clemson.
Well,
maybe.
where's Arizona? Where do they have Arizona?
Arizona, I'm pulling it up.
One of those ESPN guys had him going to the Holiday Bowl,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the other one I think LA Bowl.
Well, I'm just curious. I mean, I think this is the last year of the Pac-12 affiliation.
Finally, it
And
goes
so,
away.
if you have BYU, who I have losing to Texas Tech and thereby being out of the college football playoff 12, they would then go to the Alamo. Utah, a 2-loss team, would go to the Holiday. The way I have it picked out, but I mean, heck.
So Sun Bowl here, SMU Washington is one of the picks there. Clemson Arizona State is the other one in the Sun Bowl. Las Vegas Bowl, Iowa.
That's where I would have Arizona going.
That would be Utah at that one. Because you got to remember, you got the Pop-Tart Bowl you got to deal with and stuff like that. That Pop-Tart Bowl, Alamo would be BYU.
Wait. I thought all the Pac-12
They do.
teams had to
Yes.
fill those roles, and
No.
so that would mean Utah.
They have choices. This
Oh,
is
really?
the problem. Yes, they have choices. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then never
Yeah,
mind.
so you're not mandated to Pac-12 Bowl if you're a Pac-12 school. Yeah, there's choices.
Oh,
they're
okay.
available to them. But that's where you run into.
Okay, well then,
that's
okay,
where you
I
run
got you.
into the Holiday Bowl. You can get Washington because of
Sure.
the Pac-12 association. They can pick Washington because of that Pac-12 association instead of that side. It's confusing. It's stupid. It needs to go away.
well, this is the last year of it. Anyways.
Yes, it is. It goes away after this. Like Pop-Top Bowl, right now they have Miami and Houston or Georgia Tech in Houston in that Pop-Tart Bowl there in Orlando,
What's
Florida.
the top Big 12 bowl game?
It's gotta be Alamo.
Is
isn't
it
it?
Alamo? I think it's Alamo. Did you say Arizona State and versus UNLV in the LA Bowl?
And the LA
One of
Bowl,
these
that's
guys?
one of them. Yeah. That to me, LA Bowl would be the most disastrous bowl
would
for Arizona or Arizona State to
would
go
be.
to
Yeah.
because you're not getting that extra practice time, recruiting time in terms of people coming and seeing you and stuff like that as well. But that's why SMU Washington and the Sun Bowl is another option that people are noticing here. as well.
Oh, by the way, letter of intent signing day is tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
And I saw that I counted, there are like almost 50 kids from Arizona high schools set to sign.
I think that's just Liberty and Basha by itself. Bruce.
I did
No,
the
it
Liberty,
was
by the
amazing.
way, I did Liberty Bash on Saturday. And I believe there's upwards of 15 kids who are Division I signees between those two teams, Coop.
Yeah. And look, that's not even so it's going to
That's
be
just
far
Division
more. It's going
I.
to be far more than this. These are the kids who I was looking at. I believe it was the
These would be the top
AZ
tier
Central.
guys, right?
No, these were the players who have already committed. There are people who haven't committed yet and that will wait.
Well, and everything's changed, Coop, over the years since you and I have been involved in it. The fact that now colleges, they don't have as many scholarship openings because they got the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And so if you're a kid, unless you are the elite of the elite, you don't want to be hanging around to that second signing day and see what happens. But at the same time, what happens if I sign with you early and all of a sudden there's 4 different transfer portal guys who come in at my position, whether it be a quarterback or something like that. So it's fascinating how this thing's working out now. But Arizona, definitely on the map. Back when you and I were in high school, the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Texas, they used to refuel at Sky Harbor and then go on to California.
That is true, and it used to be like when I was at 12 News there for Friday Night Fever. Me and a photographer, just us together, could go out and cover all the letter of intent signing day.
Yeah.
And that was an impossibility.
yeah.
We came later. They used to have these signing day parties at Marley's or something like that because you couldn't handle it all, and it's to the point now where every school pretty much hosts their own, and they'll have a stage full of fall.
Yeah, it's nauseating, right? Holiday Bowl seems to be the overwhelming favorite for Arizona as well, and it looks like either Pitt, SMU, or like I saw Washington in there, and I think in the CBS one earlier as well. So kind of where we're leaning towards.
I guess we'll find out Sunday.
Sunday night, yeah, after the whatever they
Saturday
are,
night championship games.
And all of that effect. So it's going to be fascinating to see. LA Bowl, though, you're going to see. I'm going to come in ripping ASU for landing in the LA Bowl if that's the case coming up. That's the worst possible bowl game to go to in terms of this number here. And I'm not a fan of the Sun Bowl at all, but at least you get that extra practice.
Well, Dale loves El Paso. I learned that last week.
Yes, he does.
It's vacation destination spot.
Yeah, everybody's clamoring.
I'm just going to let Dale.
Hey, and back then, at least you go into Mexico when we went down there because it was safe. You're not so sure.
Yeah,
now.
no, you don't cross that border now.
No.
Yeah, when I was a kid, you always go to Juarez and watch the bullfighting and do all that stuff and get the cheaper stuff, but not anymore. You do not go across that border right now on top of it. So we'll see here coming up. But we were talking earlier also. Your sons.
Yeah.
And I said it earlier in the show here. The thing that amazes me the most is a couple years ago I was on the Bull bandwagon, not because I thought he was good, but because he brought energy to the court. And I started saying 2 years ago when Frank Vogel was the coach, you got to get Bull on the court. He brings the energy, regardless that he's not good, he's not scoring, all that. He brings the energy to this team and on the court. And I got laughed out for a little bit, then everybody came on my side. Last year, Dale was on the Gillespie bandwagon. Got to get him on the court, and Coach Bud just was like, "Nope, kid, go sit down. We don't need you. You're garbage." And now look what Jordan Knott's doing with Gillespie. And you actually look forward to watching little old Colin Gillespie get on the courts.
Hey, let me tell you something. I've said it here before, and it bears repeating because I'm watching it again last night. When you have Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin, Ryan Dunn, and Dylan Brooks all on the court at the same time, that is just too much energy, too much perimeter pressure, and look at these are the numbers from last night. The Suns, 28-2 in fast break points. Yeah. The Suns, 16 steals to 1 last night versus Lakers. I mean and here's the first. And I'm telling you, Luka, if you watch the first quarter, he was smiling. He was having fun. He was joking. I think he dropped like 20 on the Suns in the opening quarter. But that second quarter, when the Suns just blitzed him, I mean, the dude, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Right.
He threw the ball away. The Suns stole it 5 times from Luka Doncic. I mean, and they were going the other way, scoring. I mean, it was just a frenetic pace that the Lakers couldn't keep up with. I know the announcers on Peacock last night kept trying to emphasize or stress the point that this was the second game of a back-to-back for the Lakers.
That's what I point to, too.
But look.
They look tired.
Yeah, you could say that every team in the NBA plays back-to-back. The Suns had a gauntlet of one against Oklahoma and Denver and back-to-back.
And they look terrible against Denver.
Yeah, and so, but the point is, the Phoenix Suns, even when they aren't playing teams on a back-to-back, this is their modus operandi. This is how they play. And I'm telling you, right now, defense travels, as you guys know. It travels. And so the Suns, they are going to be a top 7 team all year long. And
top 7,
absolutely, they're not going to be in the play-in. They are top 7. That defense is legit the way they play. They just need to keep people healthy. Yeah. Now I don't know how long Devin Booker's going to be out with his groin injury. And look, he only played the first quarter last night, and he had it going. He had 11 points in that opening period. Right. But Dylan Brooks, you talk about a culture-changing guy. I mean, he was getting in the grill of both LeBron James, Luka Doncic, he was and even JJ Redick on the sideline. I mean, he got to the point to where the LA crowd was booing him. They hated him.
There's a big history there.
Yeah, there's a history, but he was egging them on, and here's the deal. Brother backed it up.
Well,
33 points from him last night. He's a completely different player offensively from what he's ever shown in the NBA.
That's what I was going to say. First of all, did you know that Luka had 9 turnovers last night?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you,
9
five were in the second quarter.
And I know Dylan Brooks brought everything that you said that he brought. I did not know he's averaging 22 points a game this season. And it's not like this is a 3-game sprint or a 5-game. They're now in the 20s.
Yeah. The first quarter is over. We're on to the second quarter.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I know the NBA All-Star format is different this year. Again, I think they're going the world versus the USA. And Brooks is a Canadian.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: is Dylan Brooks an All-Star this year?
Well,
Right now?
Yeah. I mean, would you put him? Would you
would.
call him an All-Star?
I would right now, yeah.
Okay.
I would definitely, he would be in my conversation. I don't even know who else worldwide.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason why is because everybody else is injured in the NBA.
Well,
They have 42 pages of their. If you don't know, go to NBA and click on their injuries every day, and they update it every couple hours. And it's like 42 pages of injuries to stars in this league. But no, he's definitely with his points on the offensive side. Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna say forget points. I don't think there's a player in the league who has impacted his team to the degree that Dylan Brooks has the Suns. Because keep in mind, I'm going to tell you this: Stephen A. Smith, even when I heard all this clatter about him calling Matt Ishbia the worst owner in NBA history. I mean, dude, stop it. And then there's some other renowned NBA experts or pundits, if you will, that said this Suns team is in trouble for years to come. They don't own any of their own draft picks. Their salary cap is out of whack. They can't even buy their way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when you start developing and finding people like Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin, and then I'm telling you this. When the Suns made this signing, I didn't even know who Bouye was. I said, who the heck is Bouye?
Right.
I mean, this dude, he plays at that same pace, and then you know what? He is knocking down, I believe, 55% of his threes. I mean, the guy can score. I mean, he played at the University of San Francisco, and I'm telling you, he could put the ball in the basket if you looked at his scoring averages. But I didn't know that translated over to the NBA because he doesn't even look like much of a player. If I'm a stereotype.
See, but you can give the owner all the credit in the world for that, but you also, you got to give him more credit for finding. I don't know how much the GM has in this deal, and how much
Brian
power
Gregory.
he's got yet. We're not sure on that. But you've got to give him credit. They hired the right coach to come in and do it. And look, Cleveland's not the offensive powerhouse it was last year with Jordan not on that team. And look what he's doing here with this team. They bought in defensively to the point where Lakers head coach yesterday was just giving Mark Williams just absolute praise with his play last night. And the league has noticed it, and so you got to give him the credit getting the right coach more than anything, and then the players get the most out of him.
Well, I tell you this. Remember when the Lakers made a trade at the deadline
for Mark Williams?
Yeah,
and he failed his physical.
Yeah, and now he's if that trade goes through, he's not even with the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you that Mark Williams was a huge pickup. But got to give credit to the Suns scouting department as well. Last year, they drafted in the first round some kid named Ryan Dunn. Came back in the second round, took some kid named Oso Ighodaro.
Mm-hmm. From Chandler.
Dunn was nothing more than a big defensive specialist at Virginia. Went to the Las Vegas Summer League, and you could tell that he started to really work on his shot. So by the regular season, even though he wasn't a really good shooter, he developed into all right, I'm okay with that.
And then Coach Bud never played him.
Right now he has
sit on the bench.
But that man has continued to develop and improve and work on his game to where I'm telling you, last night in that second quarter, Ryan Dunn was a huge, huge difference. I mean, he came over with all the loose balls, the 50-50 balls. I mean, he out-hustled everyone, including Gillespie and Brooks, and that's saying something.
Let me say one thing here too. We're talking about all this. We're talking about. We went over it yesterday a little bit. I think that they can be anywhere between a 5th and a 7th seed. I think they're gonna be fighting for that 5th, 6th seed.
I like that.
All year long. Top 4 teams, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But they're doing all this without Jalen Green.
Yes, they are.
He's played one game, and I know he's not going to average 30 points a game.
But he's going to make a lot of difference. You know what he's going to do?
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to make teams pick their poison.
Yeah.
Right.
Do they want to really blitz and double Booker and allow this man to get downhill?
Right.
Or do they? And so he's just gonna make the team
Open things
better.
up,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what's exciting is they're doing all this. So even if Booker goes out and it changes things for a while, this team will stay competitive against the bad teams, and by their time. Like I said, when they get Green back, if Booker's healthy, this team's going to be great. Here's Dylan Brooks, because this is what I love about Dylan Brooks. After the game, he's at his locker. I think this is like a minute and 20-minute second clip here. But here's Dylan Brooks last night talking about his history with the Lakers and just being who he is out there.
Being on the road, that you enjoy that almost as much as being at home doing what you did tonight. Maybe just take me through how you were enjoying the night and having the kind of game you had.
Finally had a game like I had on home games. I love playing in this arena. They show me a lot of love in here. Not reciprocated back, but teammates are finding me, trust me to make plays, trust me to make shots even when I'm missing, and try to rise to the occasion, try to get out of this loss slump.
Obviously, you and LeBron have a history. What was going on in the bench there with him and you?
I'm a competitor, man. I don't really like the smiling and the giggling and all that. So just letting them know that I'm here and I'm still rising.
Was it so he took offense to you talking to him, or because he hung around?
Always. He likes people that to bow down. I don't bow down, so that either entices him or it aggravates him, either or.
I mean, just look at the manufacturer body language. Where he's just like no nonsense.
Yeah, it's the classic. If he's on your team, you love him.
Yes!
If he's not, you hate him. Look, I was cracking up last night because he was egging that crowd on.
Yes.
I mean, the crowd. It was a chorus, a collective of boos.
Well, I said it earlier in the show. He's the one when he was with Memphis that called LeBron old, and then proceeded to get dominated in that series, and Memphis got rid of him because of it.
I think he's better, but a lot of it's like the Danny Ainge syndrome, to where when he played for Boston, couldn't stand him. Dirty player, just annoying, rubbed you the wrong way. And then he comes to Phoenix like, oh, no, he just competes hard.
Yeah, but here's the deal. There was a play last night that just cracked me up because Luka had it going in that first quarter. Mm-hmm. So Luka did some step back three on Brooks, and so you know how Luka kind of gets that little smiley or grin on his face, and Brooks is running down, getting just right in his face, and he's just talking crap to him the whole. I mean, even when the play's going on, he's continuing to talk to Luka. I'm telling you, I love me some Dylan Brooks.
Yes.
Now that he's on my team.
Yes.
But if he wasn't on my team.
Yeah. When he was doing that to Devin.
I was thinking about this last night, and I don't know if it correlates necessarily, but when the Suns back, early 2000s, right, got Chris Paul on this team, and you saw a toughness kind of change on this team. We're seeing it again here with Dylan Brooks as well. And we were playing last year a lot about the Suns not having toughness the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. And it's like this just proves that these NBA teams need somebody like this. And I'm glad he's not a Draymond type where he's mainly defense. He can go out there and dominate a game offensively, get in people's heads and stuff to that effect. But this is what the Suns need, and it makes it almost fun and enjoyable to watch these guys with that bad boy on the team, a la Chris Paul.
Yeah. Look. When Paul was on the team, he had some guy named Jay Crowder that served as their enforcer, if you will.
Right.
And so the Suns really had gotten away from that enforcer type. I don't know what happened with Monty Williams as it relates to
Jay Crowder.
Right. Yeah, I just don't know. But
he didn't like Monty didn't like people talking back to him.
is that what it was?
Yeah, he my way or the highway type of an attitude is what I've been told.
Well,
yeah.
that caused the Suns to go downhill because look, after the
he did that with DA too. Remember?
Yeah,
When
sure,
they
sure.
forced him to-
After the Suns' great run to the finals, I mean, this town was galvanized.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was electric. So you expected more, and they came back the following year, had a franchise record, 64 wins.
Right.
But then something happened after they went up 3-1 on a Dallas Mavericks team. I don't even know. I just know that Chris Paul wasn't the same anymore.
COVID, they were all sick.
Well,
that was the issue.
It was beyond. I think it
know.
was more than that.
No, Chris Paul just always breaks down in the playoffs. It gets physical and he can't stay healthy.
And then they came back the next year, and then we saw what happened there with the with the Nuggets and stuff. And so it was time for Monty to go because clearly there was a disconnect between
They stopped
him.
listening to Monty. I
between-
can tell you that
yeah.
100% accurately. Everybody just stopped listening to Monty.
And so, despite a 3-year run of just what you call great superlative Suns basketball, save the semifinals of the Western Conference 2 years running, they were electric. And what we saw the last 2 years under Vogel and under Budenholzer, it was just a collective nosedive, and it just left us with a bad taste in our mouth, and we are screwed. Matt Ishbia came in. He thought he knew everything. He traded away a lot of popular players for the Suns to bring in old guards like Durant and Beal, and we saw what happened.
But if you go back, when they made and again, this is where I revisionist history. I say you get a chance to get a Durant in Phoenix once in a franchise history. That's what I'm thinking.
I think a lot of people.
So hey, you take a swing. Take a swing. It's Kevin Durant, arguably one of the top 10 players of all time.
They exacerbated the issue by bringing in Bill and upsetting the roster.
Yeah.
'Cause now you had the roster composition was just bad.
Right. And so the biggest thing that I know, since Steve knows I've been on this warpath the last 2 years, I didn't want to watch them play because they didn't want to play. It looked like they were doing trash can deliveries or laying asphalt the last 2 years.
Well, here's the thing, and this is why the Rockets and Durant are going to be, they could be NBA champions because Durant now has a setup like he had in Golden State. People aren't going to come double him because there's other assassins on that team. You couldn't do it because they were the Splash Brothers in Golden State. Well, in Houston, I mean, Sengun, Amin Thompson. And then they have people who can cover for Durant's deficiencies defensively. I mean, Jabari Smith. They have a deep roster, and so all Durant has to do now is like he was in Golden State. He just has to score.
They have
and he
a head
does that better than most.
Most importantly, they have a head coach that wants to be there, and they have a head coach that can coach superstars in Ime Udoka. Which to me, the biggest failure on the Suns the last couple of years was just having the wrong coaches for the position.
But they also,
I'm not going to say they're bad coaches because I actually like Frank Vogel a lot, in the right situations. But there were two coaches that couldn't put their power and will into it. And in Coach Bud's case, he just didn't want to be here. He just took the paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, because the offense was just so bad when you just get to the fourth quarter and you just want to isolate the ball on one side to either Booker or Durant, and it's turnover city.
But that's my argument here, right? Durant goes to Houston and looks like Kevin Durant that we know again.
Because he's surrounded with other people. I mean,
and a coach. That's my point. And we're at the Suns, they were just like, go out there and do what you're going to do.
Yeah, but they also didn't have the talent around.
So it was
him
just like frustrating. To see, and
that's where is unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's where Matt Ishbia has failed. Is he just thought you could throw superstars out there and they would win?
Yeah,
and he didn't realize that you need chemistry, you need toughness,
exactly.
you need all this other stuff.
You're 1,000% correct there.
I mean,
and yet this team right now It's a collection of a number of players who just play 110 every second they're out on the floor.
Right. And again, superstar. I wouldn't even say Devin's a superstar this year, but yet collectively, the pressure that they put on other teams, and again, the joy it seems that they get playing defense, hustling.
Yeah.
Mark Williams, when he plays, beating the center down the court almost every time.
Yeah, do you see DeAndre Ayton last night just slowly going down the court, and he's just like, I'm not catching him.
It's so much. It's such a joy.
And I love this because there was a play when LeBron thought he was going to back down his smaller player and score over the top. Well, Mark Williams came over, helped defense, get that stuff out of here. And so, I mean, that's something that has been lacking in Phoenix because you've had Nurkic, who I'm telling you, the dude played below the rim, but he also just drove me crazy. I've never seen an NBA player that can get 8 offensive rebounds in a row and yet miss the
follow-up.
I mean, it's unbelievable. He would drive
Well,
me
that's because
crazy.
Coach Bud wanted him shooting threes. Remember that? And in the preseason, you go to practice and he's shooting threes. And it's like, why are you shooting threes? Oh, they said I need to shoot more of them. And it's like, no.
Dude, you can't even make a layup.
Yeah, get underneath, kid. Is what you got to do there. So Suns are fun, exciting, and we'll have to see what Devin Booker's status is. Obviously, if he's out for an extended period of time, but I don't have a problem. Think this team's not going to play hard. They're going to lose some shooting, which is going to hurt them. But they have some hard games coming up before it gets easy.
They have a gauntlet of a schedule. I think they have the Rockets on Friday, and then the Timberwolves on Monday, and
they got a back-to-back with Houston, I think, right?
And then they have OKC home and away.
Yeah,
now OKC, get them out of the way. How many games is OKC going to lose this year?
Well,
I think it set a record.
5.
Well, you know what OKC does, and I don't know that Jordan Odd's not taking a page out of their book, is that they have a bunch of guys who get after it defensively.
Yes.
I mean, they play the passing lanes. They get to the point to where they're sticky all over. And the Suns gave them their own treatment back. And yet, here it was a 2-point game with under 10 seconds to play.
The interesting thing when I think about Jordan Ott as a coach and how they got the right coach in here is their team is rallying around him. Remember what they did against Wemby and the Spurs when they had only lost one game, and they were the first team to shut them down in that game, right? And then Oklahoma City, you saw what they did defensively, as well. Last night, what they did to obviously a very hot Luka, right, in this game. And it's just this team is buying in. They're playing defense and everything. And as I said it earlier, don't disparage this. I mean, the Cavaliers are 13-9 on the season this year, but they don't look as good as they did last year, especially on the offensive side of things. Now, he wasn't the head coach, but obviously he had a big influence on that team while he was there, and they've lost that. They're having to adjust on that side. So that's also a reason you can look at it and say, mate, you got the right coach, is because you can look at where they leave from, and if they're
let me ask you and Dale this: who is and this is on the good side, not the bad side. Who's the most surprising team in the NBA this year?
Oh, it's got to be the Pistons.
Okay, you can say that.
Yeah, I would say in
17-4.
order, the Pistons, and then I'd probably flip a coin. Hey, we knew Oklahoma City was going to be good, but 20-1 good, 20-1 in the NBA, and then the Suns. The Suns got to be in that conversation for number 2.
I would put the Lakers in there myself.
I'm putting the Suns number 1 because I'll tell you what, every team you mentioned was a playoff team a year ago.
Yeah, but Detroit,
including OKC, who was the NBA champion.
Yeah.
Remember Detroit couldn't get out of their way when Monty was their coach, and they fired him after 40 games, 30 games because of how bad they were. So basically the same team.
But again, they were a playoff team a year ago, and so the expectation level for all 3 teams that you just mentioned was up here because of what they had already established. This Suns team, I'm telling you, every pundit called them a mess.
Oh yeah,
and so
that's why their over/under was 30 games.
To me, despite the record of 20-1, to me, despite Detroit now establishing itself as the best team in the East, despite the Lakers getting off to this great start, the Phoenix Suns are the single most surprising team in the NBA to me.
Yeah, well, I don't think you
disagree.
can argue that.
Yeah.
Real quick, how many guys do you think are scoring in double digits for Oklahoma City? Just give me a number.
SGA
No.
and
It goes into their benches. It goes into their bench. They have bench guys because they're not playing their starters because they're blowing guys out. I'll bet you it goes to 9, 8 or 9.
It's 7.
I see. Yeah.
7 guys averaging double digits.
Because
that right?
they're blowing guys out, so they're getting guys with extended minutes out there that normally wouldn't play.
Yeah, I mean, SGA's averaging 33 minutes a game. Holmgren,
33 minutes?
Oh, yeah, 33 minutes.
they're
Holmgren's
literally-
averaging 29 minutes.
Yeah, they're literally pulling them out and resting them.
What's their margin of victory? Their differential?
Oh, that
No, it's not here. I have to go to the
Yeah.
NBA page here. I'll look it up, Dale, while you're.
Yeah, because if you're saying their best players only playing
Yeah.
33
No,
minutes a
they're-
game,
yeah.
that
No,
means they
look
must-
at that Suns game. They haven't lost a home game in like forever. But that Suns game, I was reading an Oklahoma City paper, and it was like the Oklahoma City hasn't been in a game like that in forever. It was interesting. They were literally commenting like they were interested to see how they'd react to that situation.
Well, I
and
thought more
everything.
teams would take a page out of what the Indiana Pacers did, because the Pacers took it to 7 games, and you can make the argument that if Halliburton doesn't get hurt,
Oh.
that Indiana is
They would have
the
won. I'm
championship.
convinced they would have won it if
And
Halliburton
so
didn't get hurt.
I would thought that more teams would have taken a page out of how the Pacers played the Thunder as to their game plan and their blueprint going into the
Well,
season.
and here's the other thing about Oklahoma City, Goof. The 7 guys averaging double digits. They're 20-1. And they've got a gazillion number 1 picks over the next 5 years.
Yeah, but here's the deal. A lot of those aren't. A lot of those are like top 10 protected. So that's good for me to know that they can't get some of these guys like Benzema and Patterson.
Well,
that
they're
are-
going to have to make
and
decisions coming up
Yeah.
too. You know, I
Sure
know
they
they've started making them with obviously keeping Shea, but what do you do with the big guys and stuff to that effect? So they're going to have some decisions coming up that they're going to have to look at as well. Let's take our break here and then let's get into our fun subject, Coop.
Uh-oh.
Your Arizona Cardinals.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Oh boy.
Colin Murray's eligible to come off the IR list.
No, he's not. He may be eligible, but we got the video, we got the audio of it. Come on back, folks. The main event with Bruce Cooper. We're back here. Main events, Tuesdays. Me and Bruce Cooper here at the main event. Always great to have Bruce in here and talking sports with us. A man is a walking encyclopedia. He remembers stuff, unlike this guy over here and stuff. Hey, I didn't ask earlier. The Thursday Turkey Tuesday that you did last week.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Did you get your record? Is the question.
You know, I answer that question just with this. You know, Larry Fitzgerald, the great Larry Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
who's soon to be a Hall of Famer.
Finalist, yeah, definitely a
Well,
finalist.
he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
First
He
ballot.
will be. Yeah.
First ballot.
I agree. He better be. I agree.
You know, he's been such a great supporter of Turkey Tuesday.
Okay.
I mean, as a player, and now even as retired, And so he often comes, most years comes to my location. And so he called me Sunday night and wanted to know which location I was at. So he comes. He likes to come at the end because he doesn't like
the spotlight.
the fanfare.
You don't like
anything
you don't
like that.
wants to show up and go home.
Yeah, he's not there to let people say, "Oh, look, it's Larry Fitzgerald doing it." No, he just wants to do his civic duty.
Right.
So he normally buys a pallet of turkeys, and so he came in Tuesday night, went with the store manager trying to buy a pallet of turkeys. They didn't have any more pallets left. All they had were individual scattered turkeys. So that shows you just what the community did. They stepped up. They bought a lot of turkeys in a season in which we have all kinds of
it's been
food
tough.
insecurities, economic situations, and grocery.
tough out there.
They stepped up in a need that was really great, and it was great to see. Even though now Larry has to go online now to try to find another pallet to buy, but that just shows you
Don't you
the
just
success.
just fork over the? It was $20 a turkey or
Yeah,
what
and
it was.
I don't even know how many turkeys.
That's
a
what I was just
pallet-
gonna say.
a
How many are on a
equals.
pallet is what I was
I
gonna
just know
ask.
they're huge, big racks, things, and so look, I'm always grateful for Larry, but again, that just shows you the success of this year's Turkey Tuesday drive and our communities that step up.
And that's just
when
that
the
location,
times are more
right?
dire. Yeah.
And they were, you guys, Trial 12 at least was all over town.
absolutely.
And a bunch of places and stuff like that. So you
Cool.
seemed good. You were a little worried about it happening this
Cool.
year.
Look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah, all the bashes and food cities throughout the state of Arizona are connected.
That's
with
awesome.
this, yeah.
Well, you know what? Most of those bad things I think about you, I'll take them away for a week.
How about that?
Congratulations.
But
That's an awesome
Dale,
thing.
sounds like you're happy Kyler Murray's not coming back.
No, well, I just heard that he's eligible to come off the injured list, so I'm kind of getting my hopes up.
Well, here we go. Jonathan Gannon talked about K1's window. If you're on IR, you can come out 21 days of practice.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, how many games are left in the season here, Dale?
5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
Keep in mind on this when this conversation happens. Gannon on K1's window here. Hey, Kobe's got to load it up.
A couple things here. Kyler, we will not open his window. Not quite there yet.
Do me a favor. Play it again. Now you just heard it. They're not opening his window. Watch his body language and watch what he does. This is his first thing he does.
By the way,
Watch
Kobe is
this.
a big body language
Watch
guy.
this, though. If you didn't see it there, he walks into the press conference. He knows he's got to talk about Kyler Murray. Watch what he does, folks.
A couple things here. Kyler, we will not open his window. Not quite there yet.
I'm going to let you guys tell me.
I
what-
don't see anything.
You didn't
No.
see.
Yeah.
What
You
the
didn't
heck's
see
that
that?
mean?
Yeah, well, he
That's a
did
man.
that.
That's a man sitting down, knowing he's got to address it, and he's. Kyler Murray's not being redone. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Well, what does it mean?
Yeah.
It seemed like he was giddy.
Oh, you read so much.
And Jonathan Gannon never sits down and does that, folks. And he sits down to talk about Kyler Murray, and look, dude, he's almost smiling. Kobe, play it again. Look at this, folks. Doesn't even matter what he says.
Things here. Kyler,
Claps.
we will not
Look at this.
open his window.
He's got a little waggle
Quite
to
there
him.
yet.
Hey, he brought the right hand up to the left
You
shoulder.
see?
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
That means I'm lying.
That's a signal. That's a signal to his
He hit
wife.
the desk like he was like, "Hey guys, I got some news for you. Kyler Murray, you're not opening his window. Check this out."
Well, he got out ahead of it because he knew that was going to be a question.
Well, obviously. In all seriousness,
Jeez.
I did that just for Dale. by the way. I saw that little thing and I'm like, I'm going to make a big deal about that. In all seriousness, he went on to talk about, why he's not coming off his window. This I can read into. In all seriousness, Gannon on Kyler Murray here.
With him, yeah, half empty, half full. No, I mean, he's working every day. You know what I mean? But I know he wants to be out there. It's just unfortunate right now.
Okay. Did you see the difference in body language? Did you see that? That was a man lying to your faces. He's working really hard. He wants to be out there. He wants to be out there.
Well, I will say this much. I do believe that the Cardinals and Kyler have come to some sort of an agreement.
I would not necessarily. I'll say Kyler's camp and the Cardinals have come to an agreement.
Right. That it's time to cut the cord.
Yeah.
And to not,
They're not going to embarrass him.
decrease his value with an injury or come out looking bad against some of these teams. They are going to just let him sit the rest of the
hype
season.
it up. Say he wants to come back,
Sure.
so you don't hurt the trade
Sure.
value or possible trade value.
And one thing that we're seeing that is so crystal clear to me, and it's what I've been saying all along anyway. This is not a quarterback issue. I mean, the Cardinals are what 1-7 with, or 1-6, 1-7 with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
People keep making. I hear some of our media people, local media people, make a deal of where, well, Brissett thrown for over 300 yards every game. Well, I'm watching the Patriots game last night. Do you know what they said? Drake May,
yeah.
who is in the MVP conversation,
good.
probably the leader, he has not thrown for 300 yards in a single game this year.
Right.
So 300 yards is to me a ridiculous thing to throw out to try to value.
The reason why they do that, though, is the offense looked battered and non-movable with Kyler, and it looks to me, I agree with you, it's a coaching issue.
Forget that. The Cardinals, when they were 6-2 or whatever they were a year ago going into the break, they were a balanced team. And that's what you want to be. You want to be a balanced team, run and pass.
Yep.
You just don't want to be and like I said, I already see the deal. Anytime teams want to get after Brissett, they're just going to blitz him. He's a standing statue.
They don't even have to blitz him.
Right,
though.
right.
That's the bad
He's
part.
just a statue, and people, our local media for some reason are enamored that he'll stand tall and take a hit and deliver the ball downfield.
It's because Kyler Murray bails out before the guy even gets to the ball.
I understand I understand all that, but as you see, it's not a quarterback issue. You can't go 1-6 and keep lauding the guy for throwing 300 yards and you're losing the same damn way. Look,
But here's the thing. Last year when they got off that good start and there was some hope, and what was it? What did you talk about? You're talking about the running game.
Absolutely,
You're talking
the
about
balance.
the running
They
back.
have to bring back the balance. And what did I tell you that I was doing with the first pick?
Oh, you're taking the running back from Notre Dame.
Jeremiah Love, absolutely. You have look. I can't emphasize this enough. I can't say it enough. The Detroit Lions, I mean, just a perennially horrible organization and team. They have turned the corner with Campbell. Why? Because they have playmakers. Look in the backfield. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, overtime game, first play, 69-yard house call, Lions win. You have to have playmakers. You have to have different makers. Here the Cardinals are. They have the ball with a chance to go tie or beat Tampa. They have the ball last.
Yeah.
3 and out. All right, that's 4 and out.
4 and out.
And why? I mean, it's the same old crap.
But obviously you lose your number one running back. And I pointed this out 6-7 weeks ago.
You did their offensive line.
The offensive line.
Yeah.
And
the
again,
coach.
Yeah.
Well, when you're 4th and 1, we showed that play yesterday. 4th and 1, and you do a stretch play out to the outside instead of running up the middle. Bam Knight had 11 carries for 62 yards.
Bam Knight is not a freaking playmaker. He's not a difference maker. I mean,
Brissett was 29 of 40, and they had 19 total runs, and Brissett had 3 runs. No, this is my point. I understand what you're saying on the running game, but that's hurting him from that side. But that's why you're getting this dynamic from everybody is the offense runs better into Jacoby Brissett. Brissett's not playing terribly. It's just the lack of weapons and stuff to that
He's
effect.
not playing. I'm not saying he's not playing terribly.
I'll even go a step farther on the coaching
But
side.
I just know this. I'm watching the game with the Buffalo Bills a couple weeks
Steelers.
ago.
A couple weeks ago? Okay.
Yeah. They had and it was a game against the Chiefs. I watched 2 quarterbacks that when plays broke down, they were able to get outside, maneuver.
Jacoby
pick
tries
up-
to, though.
Pick up. He's not that dude.
I know, but he tries
He's just
to.
not. And so
It's painful to watch.
here's the deal. This is what I keep saying. This is why I always say, until you find me someone better than Kyler, I'm sticking with Kyler. Why? Because he's a playmaker. He can make plays
No,
at that quarterback
but-
position.
but here's the problem.
And yet it's my job. It's I shouldn't say my job. It's the Cardinals' job to put playmakers around this dude, just like the and here's a stat that I didn't even know. I think it was Tyler Drake that put this out. It says, listen, the last 3 Cardinal coaches in their third year.
I got it right here. Let me pull it up here. It was Kyle Odegaard. By the way,
Okay.
that
Oh,
put
yeah,
it out
you're
there,
right.
yeah.
It was in their third year. Okay, read it.
Ken Wisenhunt, 10-6 NFC Divisional Round appearance. Bruce Arians, 13-3 NFC Championship Game appearance. Cliff Kingsbury, 11-6 NFC Wildcard appearance. Jonathan Gannon, 3-9, eliminated from playoffs at the end of November.
Dude, in their third year.
Third year. That's just their third year.
Right.
In their third year. And so
They had years where they were ramping up, they were having success, and then third year.
And why did the Cardinals go 11-6 that year, even after they were 10-2? Because they put playmakers around the dude.
But who? Kyler Murray.
Yeah, they put
He was throwing to Christian Kirk down the field.
Hopkins.
And so you've gotten away from that.
Yes.
So my point is,
That's coaching.
I need, and so then, God, who was the quarterback? Oh, it was Caleb Williams. The Chicago Bears needed to, if they get a first down, they are going to win this game.
Yeah.
And so Ben Johnson dials up what we've seen Kyler Murray do before.
Mm-hmm.
A play going his way, and he boots and he gets the first down, game over.
Yeah.
That's I'm not looking to lose that element at my quarterback position. By me taking a step back and going to Jacoby Brissett, I'm doing just that.
Well, but see, so the Cardinals have 2 issues with Kyler Murray right now. If Kyler Murray goes out there and plays, one, you're risking injury, and other.
I'm not looking for him to play this year.
I know, but the other reason why you can't let Kyler Murray play, because if Kyler Murray goes out there and looks either bad or good, it's going to be a direct reflection.
Absolutely.
These coaching staffs are trying to save their jobs.
Look,
is what they're trying to do right now. They're
Look,
not
you
stupid.
just read a stat why they shouldn't. I mean, it's the third year.
Yeah.
For
Right.
crying out loud.
Well, it's even worse than that. I said it yesterday, just off the top of my head. You know, New England, new coach, dominating, right? On top of that, Jacksonville turns it around. Indianapolis, not necessarily a new coach, right? Third year, I
Ben
think.
Johnson.
But they have a new quarterback there, right? Going into it. Ben Johnson this year. You have teams that have sucked for Carolina Panthers, folks, are leading that division, or half a game behind the Buccaneers. That is why it's not working here, and you
It's
cannot
not.
be stupid to say run it back, because this is a league where if you make the right hires, you make the right decisions, you could turn around on the spot. Then the other thing that drives me nuts is they haven't been competitive in their division, period, over the last
they
2
haven't.
years.
They haven't.
And it's even worse now. Seattle, new coach a couple years ago. Sam Darnold, of all people, and look at them now. They're dominating. 49ers, all these injuries out there, and they're still 9 wins this year.
Sure.
And the Rams are just the Rams. You're not competitive,
But
and you got to stop pretending you are.
Each one of the Cardinals' divisional foes, and I think Seattle probably does it the best, though some people could argue and say is the Ram. They play really stout defense. So when your offense is not bogging down, it's not good. You're still in the game. Now, the Cardinals have been in games this year because their defense have kept them in games. And it's their offense that has not produced. And why isn't their offense producing? Because they've lost that balance. Dale's talked about it. The offensive line has just been a joke. I don't know the reason. I'm going to buy his reason that we lost Adams to Dallas. But for whatever it is, it still comes down to coaching. I'm with you. That's why I got rid of him.
You want to go a step farther? Jonathan Gannon, I'm soured on. I'd like to see him go, but I understand if you keep him. But you cannot bring back anybody on this offensive staff. You just
I
can't.
agree with that. I agree with that 1,000.
Top to bottom, all of them need to be blown out. But this is what's more egregious to me on the coaching side of things. All week, and we didn't talk about it last week because we didn't have time because of the holidays and everything. Drew Pensing, they were asked, hey, with not Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back. Well, we got to get the ball to the playmaker's hands. We got to move him up in the progression, right, and stuff to that effect. They didn't even look at Wilson the whole game. He had 7 targets when it was all said and done. But they went to Harrison at the beginning
But those
of the
targets
game.
increased because
Blowout
Marvin
situation.
Harrison had the heel injury.
Got injured, exactly. And it's just like Marvin Harrison, 17. They went to him early in the game. They ignored Wilson like he wasn't even out there anymore. And he has been your bell cow the last 3 weeks with Harrison out. I understand Harrison's being. They didn't move Wilson up the chart.
Yeah,
to give him more
but
catches
sometimes
and
the
stuff to
thing
that
is
effect.
when you start looking at how are you gonna if you're doing a game plan against the Cardinals offense and you've seen them play the last 2 to 3 weeks without Marvin Harrison, who's been their guy, Wilson. So you got a guy coming back from appendectomy surgery. What are you going to do? You're going to kick your coverage towards Michael Wilson because he's been your playmaker. You can take away a receiver if you're bound and determined.
And I agree with you.
And the other thing is, you have Vita Vea there in the middle.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the damn run game. It's not like you got to have 7 guys in the box to stop the Cardinals' run game.
Well, you don't have to worry about the Cardinals' run game because you know what plays are coming, as Bull said.
Wow, my gosh.
hear
That was alarming. There's 2 things that came out of the Tampa Bay post-game locker room from the Cardinals game on Sunday. One was just that the players and coaches say that they knew what the Cardinals were going to run.
We did the
off.
4th down play.
You did that?
And you literally saw yesterday 3 Tampa Bay people point to where the ball was going, and they all ran. They were there before the blockers were there.
They were there before the ball was there.
Yeah, 4th and 1. Number 8 for Tampa Bay ran and blew up the play, so his other guys, made him run back inside. They knew it was coming. Since you're talking about that really quick, here's Jonathan Gannon on that 4th and 1 play. This is yesterday now on that play call, and this is what he said.
Do you think you guys got too predictable? Bowles said that?
Yeah, Bowles said that. He just said that they kind of guessed that route and they jumped it.
I don't know. They ran a 6-man pressure that we picked up. We had 4 out in the route. I thought we had some guys. There was a chance to make a play there. That's what I thought.
Look how unhappy he is right there when they told
Well,
him Bowles said it.
I think he's also the first thing was like, screw you, Bowles. What are you doing
I
saying
know.
that publicly?
But Dale, you remember the play. I don't know if you do.
But the players said it
6-man
too.
pressure,
Yeah.
they all ran that way. They weren't pressuring up the middle
I
at
think
all.
he was talking about a different play.
No, that was that 4th and 1 play.
No, because
Yeah,
he was
that's about
talking about we have 4 guys out in the pattern.
No, that he was referring to that one 4th and down play that I called. When Bowles said that they saw it coming. Well, by the way, Tampa said they knew a lot of what Cardinals were doing. in
Well,
this play and
did
stuff
you
like
see
that.
what the Tampa quarterback said? He
Yeah.
gave all kinds
Baker.
of props
Yeah.
to Nick Rallis.
Yeah.
He said they kept them off balance. They just mixed. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I said I may have to give consideration to Nick Rallis staying on my new staff.
The only reason Nick Rallis frustrates me is, and it might be a byproduct of, and I talked to Paul Clark, SCA's defensive coordinator, at the end of that game on Saturday night. All of a sudden, they have the lead, and St. John's can go down and score, and all of a sudden, St. John's is driving the football out of nowhere. So after the game, I pulled him aside and was like, I'm not going to ask you publicly to embarrass you, but what happened? And he goes, we just got out of sorts. We had guys that got injured. They're out of the game. We couldn't figure it out, the pressure situation. So, they're tired. They've been playing all game. And I was like, okay, well, that might be it. So I kind of think that maybe that's what's happening to the defense. But that's where my frustration with Nick Rallis comes in. It seems like the Cardinals go almost prevent type defense late in the game and allow the other team to go down and score. But it might just be a byproduct of, circumstances of being on the field all the time. But Nick Rallis, from that perspective there, it's just, I don't know. It's just, they need to blow all these guys out. And, again, another 3rd and 1, 10 minutes ago, 3rd and 1, throw it deep. This time it was to Wilson, but they throw it deep. Miss that. 4th and 1, they run wide. That's that 4th down play we were just talking about. They didn't learn anything from doing that last week. And that's where you'll look at it and go. And then Jonathan Gannon after the game, I loved it. I loved the chance. They don't learn. They don't adjust.
Well, and then the other thing is, because I halfway in my mind was thinking, do you bring this staff back again because of all the injuries?
No.
And then I'll never forget that, looking at when they played the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Starters missing games. And the 49ers have way more missed games. And we're talking about Joey Bosa. We're talking about Fred Warner.
Yeah.
We're talking about studs.
Better than anybody on the
Yeah.
Cardinals defense. Well, maybe not Sweat, but no, that's my comparison there, right? But here's my other side of it. fundamentals are missing on this Cardinals team. We've talked about the offensive line. Fundamental blocking has been missing this year. But late in this game, right, it's just they don't know where to go. You can't tell me Jacoby Brissett on that 3rd and 1 was like, I'm going to take a shot deep here after last week. That came from the coaching staff, folks. That was the design of the play. Watch him take the ball and look where he looks. He's looking deep the whole time. That's from the coaching staff and the design
and
of
then
the
the
play.
other thing on that 4th down play, Coop, I don't know how close you were watching the game or listening, but Daryl Johnson got on McBride. And then because McBride had his guy, gave up, his guy was the one who ended up making the tackle on the 4th and 1. And Daryl pointed it out, and so we watched it yesterday a few different times in slow motion. And it's just like, okay, I blocked him for 2 seconds, and that's good enough, and he made the tackle. So maybe there's a little lack of attention to detail.
Not a little.
Like I know in Dallas, 4th and 1 and a game-winning play, and a guy gives that type of effort, he's getting his ass ripped.
Yeah.
He's getting his butt. And I know McBride's a hell of a tight end and all that, although he's starting to get on my nerves with all his whining every time somebody blows on him. But in those particular situations, you got to make sure that you do your job.
That's the problem that I have with this coaching staff.
That might be that's part of coaching too, right?
Yeah.
Because you hold players accountable.
Yes.
Well, the penalties have shown that.
Oh,
the
my
lack
gosh.
of you can watch these games and I'm not a fan of 3rd and 1. Look, just pick up the 1 yard and move on with your life, right? And reset the downs. And it's like to me now it's like they're panicking and they're going like, oh, we got to try to win this now. Let's throw it deep.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't. Pick up. You have 2 chances. If you get stuffed twice, then we can have that conversation. But you can't blow one by going deep. You're not fooling anybody by doing so. And it's just frustrating. Go ahead.
Hey, let me ask you, did you guys read or hear or listen to a number of the players, giving JG
Specifically,
props?
Darius Robinson
and
He was the big one.
McBride.
Yeah, but Robinson was the big one. It was
Right.
almost
I
crying.
mean, they're saying they want him back, basically.
But you know what that tells me?
It's comfortable.
Yes, that's exactly right. They're comfortable in that locker room. They don't want it to change.
I tell you, there's half a locker room after we
Thank
won
you.
the damn Super Bowl in Dallas that didn't want Jimmy back. That's how hard it worked.
That's what that tells me. Seriously, and I'm glad you said that instead of me because you've been in a locker room before. That tells me this team is like, it's like the end of Cliff, right? Cliff famously said to his team, look, I might not have done it the right way, but I did it because I respect you guys as men and all that stuff. Basically saying that, I made this comfortable for you guys to come here. It didn't work out. I'm happy with it. I'm moving on with my life.
Yeah.
They're comfortable with JG and the way this team runs. They don't want it to change. They want the losing to end, but they don't want to see who comes in next because they know what's next on the horizon. That's what that tells me. And with 5 games left, being eliminated from the playoffs, that's the last thing I want to hear Darius Robinson or Trey McBride say.
But I did respect this from Darius Robinson. He also said this. He said, and I've never heard a player say it, he says, I'm clearly not the player I thought I was.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah,
What?
he's like, I've got to go back and figure out how to get better. That's what you want to hear. You don't want to
Yeah.
hear the defense of a coaching staff and stuff. Because I can tell you right now, I haven't been to practice. Obviously, I'm here doing this. I don't know if you've made it out there.
No.
Dale hasn't because we're here doing this. I can tell you right now, these practices are probably run absolutely lax compared to the winning teams out there.
Well, and
I'll put
the
money
other
on
thing
it.
I will tell you
I'll put money on it.
is the fact that I've been on really bad teams that have worked really, really hard.
Well,
that
like-
that 2-14 season in Buffalo my rookie year, we were at the facility studying film
The 1
out
year.
of the practice field.
The 1 year.
Doing more and more and more than we ever did in Dallas, and we were 2-14. So some of it's talent, some of it's attitude, some of it's coaching. Because again, it's not necessarily working longer or harder. It's working smarter. And so make sure that what you're doing is going to contribute to winning rather than letting little things slide.
Yeah.
But that's
They're
culture,
letting little
Dale.
things
That,
slide.
that goes to the culture. And
Yeah.
so I haven't seen anything that JG has produced that tells me he's the right man for this job, despite what these players
Oh,
may
well,
say.
I would not listen. Hey,
Well, remember the Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders with what's his name? The guy from ASU.
Max Crosby and
Yeah,
the quarterback.
well, they were like, if you don't hire this guy, I'm getting traded. All that.
Antonio
and
Pierce?
then Antonio
Yeah.
Pierce. Do not listen to
That's
players in
Coop's
locker
guy.
rooms because they have vested interests. And I could have a long career here, taking it easy all year long, regardless of wins. If this coach comes back, and it's an amazing thing to see happen. And it's just when you get eliminated from the playoffs, I don't want to hear how good the coaching.
I've already
staff
told
is.
you guys, Steve Spagnuolo. I gave you,
did.
and he's sure to bring a Kansas City offensive
go
assistant and make him
defense, though?
his offensive coordinator.
Do you
And
go
so there you
defense after you just went defense?
Look.
First of all, I'll say Jonathan Gannon's safe, by the way.
I-
right now, Jonathan Gannon's safe.
Look, I don't put a whole lot of stock in this offense because see they're going to bring in their coordinators, and so what Spagnuolo does
Yeah,
is
like-
he has an expertise on defense.
Like
okay,
Drew Penzing?
Okay, I'm going to expect that to take place, but
Like Matt
I'm
Nagy, you want
also-
Matt Nagy as your offensive
Yeah,
coordinator?
no, but I'm also expecting him to bring a Kansas City assistant who is well versed in their offensive schemes. He's going to bring that assistant and make him his offensive.
They never work
coordinator.
out though.
Huh?
What's the Kansas City assistant? Because Andy Reid runs that offense.
Oh, okay, but
Name
but,
a Kansas City
here-
offensive coordinator that's
here-
had
here's the deal.
success
Here's-
as a head coach.
That's true. That's true. But they're bringing a culture.
I don't disagree. It's the culture.
They're bringing a culture.
But that's the problem, right? If you look at it, the Eagles' culture has just been an abysmal mess. Yes, they've won Super Bowls with that culture, but they're an abysmal mess out there. Hey, Jonathan Gannon on his confidence that things will improve. You'll get a kick out of this one. Here we go. Jonathan Gannon yesterday, folks, on his confidence.
I'm laughing already.
It's a good fair question, Josh. Yeah, I believe in that. We got the right people. I say we got the right people is we will learn and grow and get better. And if you get better, you should win.
Learn and grow. This is year 3, right?
Year 3.
You
And
already
after
gave
2
a stat.
successful years.
You already gave a stat about the other 3
Yeah.
coaches in
Yeah.
year 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got the right people at 3 and 9.
Okay.
Learn to grow. This is the stuff that drives me nuts about Jonathan Gannon. Every other coaching staff in the world is changing. Winning coaching staffs are changing things. And Jonathan Gannon's like, we're going to learn and grow. We're going to learn and grow. Really quick, I want to end the show on this. Dale, I don't know what's wrong with you long snappers snapping the ball weird like this. Did you see the Giants kicker last night kick this? He said he pulled up on it, Dale, as when he did this.
Yeah.
Giants last night.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that ever in my
No,
life.
ever.
I mean, and he used to kick for the successfully for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, he was a good kicker. He said he pulled up on. Look, this is my favorite part.
Yeah, oh my
Jackson
God.
darts last. What do you do as a long snapper when that happens? Do you go, did I
Well,
did I
that
snap
one,
it
no,
wrong? No, you know what I'm saying, though.
The two worst sounds in football for a long snapper are the double thud.
Yeah.
All right, or no sound at all, because something went way wrong back there.
Yeah.
You don't hear the thud of a
You're
ball.
running to the sideline going, what just
What in
happened?
the hell just happened?
I've never seen that before. It's crazy. And all he said after the game was, I just pulled up on it. I don't even know what that means.
No,
He's done that motion.
He's
God,
still going to kick that ball.
He's done it he probably almost broke his foot hitting
Yeah.
that ground. But you've done that motion like a cajillion times in your life.
Yeah,
It's tear an
it's second
ACL.
nature. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. yeah.
Like I can understand shaking it left or right, but it's just something interesting. And you see Jackson Dart get lit up on the sideline last night.
Oh, I
too?
did. Look. That kid. I mean,
That's how he
I
plays.
heard him post game talking about if you ask anybody who's watched me play high school, I'm competitive. Dude, no one's trying to take your competitiveness away from you. We're just trying to make you smarter.
He did that
and
at Ole
safer.
Miss though too. He got
Yeah,
himself
but
into
again,
trouble
it's,
at Ole Miss.
it's different
Yeah,
when you're
it
going
is.
against
No, I don't-
240
They're
pound
paying you millions of
I
dollars
think
to
he
be
would-
available. And to
I think you learned that
perform.
last night. Well, that's the thing. If he would have he's got to be like Patrick Mahomes. If he would have stepped out of bounds half a second earlier, he would have got a flag, 15 yards. Like that's what Mahomes does. He baits you into hitting him, and then going to that side. So it's fascinating to me. Did you Abdul Carter benched again last night?
What is up with that?
But
Wasn't he the third overall?
Yeah,
pick
and
in
he's
the
a
draft?
stud. But here's what's interesting. Mike Dable, no benchings. Mike Kafka comes in as the interim head coach. All of a sudden, he's getting rid of the guys that aren't performing and playing. Again, it goes to my point of the Cardinals compared to the Giants.
Right.
They're making changes. They're holding people accountable, and the Cardinals
point.
are learning and growing, Coop.
Good point.
Learning
good
and
point.
growing. Folks, Bruce Cooper be back next Tuesday with us. We'll be talking some bowl games and where everybody's going out there and all of that. So appreciate you, Coop. as always.
More Suns wins.
Yes.
More Steak 44.
All right. For everybody, Dale, for me, for Bruce Cooper, we'll see y'all tomorrow, everybody.